This is a very exciting gathering of minds. This is a very exciting gathering of minds, a gathering of newsmakers, thought-provokers, and change instigators. News people have to be both storytellers and truth-tellers. And in a world that is fast becoming more global, how do we keep regional relevant? Well, our hosts today, TG Cahir, have done that, and they have done it with much acclaim. May I please introduce the Director General of TG Cahir, Stúrthóir an Stáisiún, Cannasaí an Stáisiún go Devon, Alan Esselmont.
Gurmat Evelyn, agus Faljob Gagalia, Sulam Gulshab Baintanya Vascalia, agus Fulham Bioganingoiga at Stashabinshaw. Some of you will know that I'm not actually Irish. So my strongest claim to an Irish passport is my Irish wife and 5 Irish children. So I'm Scottish. I was brought up in Britain of the 60s, 70s, early 80s. And at that time, regional broadcasting was a very big thing, especially commercial regional broadcasting, from children's programs to wonderful wildlife series to world-class drama. All of that was happening in the regions. And if I'm honest, I think the last 35 years has been a story in our industry of centralisation, of moving towards Europe's capitals. And in many ways, I think it's true to say that the capitals don't put the regions at the top of their agenda. So I think what TG Cahir strives to do is we strive to be different. The politician who's now Ireland's president, who founded TG Cahir in 1996, Michael D. Higgins, he laid out the foundations for the station. And he talked about, in his first 2 sentences, he talked about citizenship, language, democracy. But he also said, we're setting up a station which is the first television station service outside of Dublin. And that has been important for us. And we have strived to be devolved as much as we can, to bring on production in television, not only in this region, but Kerry, Waterford, Belfast, all around Ireland. We've tried to bring that forward. So I feel after COVID that there is an energy in our region, and I think that what CIRCOM does is hugely important for our industry throughout Europe. So I'll congratulate especially Laois and our team at TG Cahir for putting together what I think is a wonderful programme for the conference. And I hope that you, as delegates from regions throughout Europe, come away from this conference with an energy and with a vision for regional broadcasting throughout Europe that is strong and a resolve that is redoubled to push that vision forward. Gurmagi.
Gurmila Mad, Alan Fiorwich. Now, could I please introduce you to 2 people who are here with us today? They're also the head of CIRCOM, the president of CIRCOM, Jean-Marc Dubois, and the Secretary General, Fernando Ojea.
Hello, nice to see you again. Just a few words, really few words. Just to say that I'm very proud to be here with you, and talk about also the values of the public service in Europe, because we are needed by democracy. And for us, that's very important, because we fight some, let's say, contrary winds against public service. You know that my president decided that we would not be we would not have I'm losing my English. We would not be paid by taxes, but we would be in the budget of the French state. It means that next year we are not sure that France Télévisions will have the money that it is supposed to have. So that's a big problem for us. And I know that some of you have the same kind of problems. So I'm very, well, concerned about what we'll talk about. And I want to introduce Fernando Ojea, who is the General Secretary of CIRCOM.
Good morning. Felte, welcome in Irish. We are delighted that we finally are face-to-face here. It's been a very long effort and good work of GCAR to organize this together with us, with CIRCOM. And I think that we brought a very good program with outstanding speakers, and I ask you to be active, participate. There's an application to submit questions online, but you can also will be able to ask directly questions in the question and answers parts of the sessions. The program is tight, but I'm sure that we'll have a very good, interesting discussions. We are creative regions, and we make creative economy, and we will be delighted if you are able to bring something new home when you come back after this conference and after the gala, and you have something to share with your colleagues. It will be a goal for CIRCOM, that you get some inspiration here. So welcome again, Felte, and take the best of this, and besides, enjoy being here all together. Thank you.
Gurumila Magi, merci beaucoup, gracias, and kudamutusanish leshagar executive. So, what is top of the agenda in regional newsrooms across Europe? We'll take a look.
Newsrooms all over Europe, and not just here on the western seaboard of Ireland, face the same challenges.
To highlight the most important, the growing restrictions on the independence of journalists and the lack of financial resources.
The pandemic has changed our production routines, the language we use and our agenda. Now, after 2 years, we feel the need and yearning to work in the ways we have always worked in the past.
There's the move from linear to digital, and the growing realization that we can't just simply repurpose linear content for use on digital platforms for digital audiences. Then there's the search for younger audiences that very often have a very low level of brand recognition and an even lower level still of brand loyalty.
How can we reach target groups who do not watch news bulletins in broadcast television? How can we reflect the whole country with news that engages the audience and has an impact? How can we maintain and strengthen trust in a polarized world?
Safety, because it's sad to say that there are more and more places where reporting is risky. It's about ensuring quality journalism, about ensuring trust and plurality, and to protect the local culture in this global world, which for some stations like TV Galicia, GCAR, many others, is linked to the fostering of minority languages.
Then there's funding and how we match the production and consumption of content now with the funding models that we currently have. And finally, as highlighted by the invasion of Ukraine by Russia, there is the constant presence of misinformation and disinformation.